CTB. You know who it is.
All right, everybody, so I'm back at home, and now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of the best all-around trimmer of the year and also the hitters of the year. So let's do the all-around trimmers of the year first. And respectfully, for some reason, I just feel like this year there has been so much that has come out, but I told you my top 5 out of this list, and it's really important for me to let y'all know why I picked what I picked, and this is how we're going to do it. As I told y'all before, it's still gonna stay the same. It's still gonna be with price, performance, and ergonomics. To me, that still matters at the end of the day. And when it comes to the all-around trimmers, these are the ones that I have just on the list. As I told y'all earlier, it is the JRL Onyx Trimmer. You have the Cyborg Trimmer, the Saber Trimmer, the Babyliss FX One Trimmer, and the M Force by Andis. And if we had to break that down by price, I believe that y'all already know that some of these are very cost effective and some are not. With looking at the price and also the performance, and remember everything that I told you about the performance with, with all that entails, this is where I got to my top 5. And this is how I really did it. So here's the 5, but here they are somewhat in order. Coming in at number 5, I do have the Andis M Force coming in at number 5. One of the main reasons, not because of the price is actually like one of the best ones, but when I got to the performance section and also the ergonomics, it is like a basic trimmer like that you hold. A lot of us are still used to that body, but the performance wise, all that stuff entails the run time, the charge time, the battery, the performance, the RPMs, and even the noise. The noise level on the Andis M Force is just a little bit louder, to be honest. The blade is amazing. It's still one of the best all-around trimmers, honestly, but compared to everything else, it is one of the ones that gets up there with the noise, and some people might not like that, and I understand. Also, it doesn't have any other option when it comes to charging, so that's why it is at the bottom of the map when it comes to the top 5, but it still made it to the top 5. Next on the list is the Babyliss FX One Trimmer. And the main reason why, we already use their blades. We know that it works. The battery life is really not much of a problem. However, some people don't like the fact that this trimmer does not have its own charging dock, but the battery does. It does allow USB-C, but that's only to the charging dock, but it has nothing to do with the trimmer body at all. So some people don't like it, for that reason. The blades are basically the same, and that also has a little bit of a noise level that some people might not like. And it is up there in price. It's one of the most expensive ones on the list. So for me, it made it to the number 4 spot, but it's still one of the best all-around trimmers, to be honest. Most likely, if I had to be real, most people probably have a Babyliss, some type of trimmer on their station. So it being at number 4 is still the win. All right, so number 3 spot. Some people might be surprised at this, but it definitely made it to the number 3 spot, is the JRL Onyx Trimmer. For those that had it, it seems like they had problems with adjusting it to their liking. But honestly, once you got it to the place that you do like it, this thing performs very, very well. The noise level is really, really good. Has a charging dock. It does not have a different charging option, but the price of it is the cheapest one out of everybody. And honestly, I feel like you can't go wrong with that. They have the easy gap blade on it. So how you even adjust how you get this thing to 0 gap, I think that it even makes it more simplified. But for me, it made it to that list. The performance, it does a very, very good job. Still gives out sharp lines. It does a great job balding out. Like, you can't go wrong having this trimmer. Definitely one of the lowest decibels on any trimmer, to be honest. But for me, this definitely made it to my list. It's definitely a nice trimmer to have, and honestly, if you never tried it, you might want to try it out. But JRL Onyx is in the number 3 spot. Let's get to the number 2 and number 1 spot. And for me, it's always hard dealing with these two because it's either or almost every year so far. There are some trimmers that have come out that is getting very close. So shout out to the other brands, but the Cyborg and the Saber Trimmer, honestly, those two are like hand in hand in a lot of ways. So for me, it's all about more so preference, because one's heavier than the other and one has different ergonomics. But just for that reason, I do have them just a little bit different. So number 2 spot, yes, I did give it to the Sabers. The Sabers are number 2 on my list. Definitely one of the best trimmers still out there. Definitely giving out sharp lines. Definitely could be one of the hitters, honestly, but I definitely feel like the Saber is more of a better all-around trimmer than just a hitter. And it has a charging dock. Doesn't have USB-C option, but it has USB. And it's not the loudest. It has that one, the one blade on it. It comes with a few things and accessories and all that jazz. So I honestly think that the Sabers definitely need to be in the top 3, top 2, top 10. 10, whatever you want to place it. But I definitely, for me, on my list, it is the number 2 spot. And of course, shout out to them again. They won another Concise Awards, which is the Cyborg Trimmer. Some people cannot understand how, for me, that it is, but to me, it knocks every box out, like, honestly. So one of the best ergonomic trimmers. It has 7,500 RPMs, 3-hour runtime, 90-minute charge time. You really can't, you know, get any better than that. Other than the Sabers, it does have a 4-hour charge time, but that's the only difference. But it does charge at 2 hours. So like they're basically hand in hand with that. But 90-minute charge time. It has the USB-C. I love the weight of it. It has the one blade. It really is one of the best trimmers that you can ask for. You get what I'm saying? And it also comes with the universal blade modifier. I think it was one of the first products they had that came with that universal blade modifier. And to be honest, it's definitely dope. So even when it comes to the accessories, you just get a little bit more than, you know, when the Sabers did come out. So for me, congratulations to Gamma. The Cyborg Trimmer still holds the number 1 spot, and respectfully, I understand why. So we gotta talk about these hitters, and I know y'all see my top 5, and I know some of y'all, you know, probably gonna look at it like you might not even heard of some of them. I have tried, you know, a lot of trimmers. I have not tried all of them, but for the ones that I have tried, these are my Concise Awards. These are my hitters. Let me just break this down. It's really kind of hard going with the price, performance, and ergonomics. In a sense, you know, I'm kind of going to be loose on it because at the end of the day, it is still about who is the hitter. Period. You know what I mean? So there are some on this list that are up there in price. They really are up there in price. So I did take that into consideration. You know, I still did my whole numbers things and everything like that. But the performance of them, without hesitation and hair texture and all of that jazz, these things just be hitting. All of them can, you know what I mean? But it's all up to you. But this is how I have my top 5. So let me just talk about my list real quick. All right, so coming at number 5, for me, I do have the Instinct X Trimmer. More so, the main reason why for me is the ergonomic part of it. The performance is definitely there. The price is up there. It's probably one of the highest ones on the list. And for me, as much as that thing can hit and how well you can set that blade, you know, just to do some work, and it has what, I think 8,500 RPMs, like, and it has the IN2 vector motor, like all of that advancements, all of that, the noise is kind of up there. It does well. It can hit straight out, well, depending on how it comes from out of the box, it can hit straight out of the box. But if you set that thing right with that amount of speed, it's definitely going to hit. It's definitely one of those hitters that can be easily a tap and go. Some people might scale it back and make it into an all-around trimmer, but me per se, that's the type of trimmer I don't want to use the whole time for a very long time due to the ergonomics and the sound. And I'm better off setting this thing up as a hitter, and it definitely can hit. So that's why I made it to my number 5 on this list. Number 4 on the list is the Babyliss FX3. Performs well, runtime is great. The price is still up there, even on their website. I think it's around like $170. Some people just don't like, when it comes to the ergonomics, some people don't like the slim line, that small trimmer feel. They don't like it. The blade set right, it can be, is definitely a hitter. Some people said they had to scale it back. The black version, of course, a lot of people said that that one was a lot better, and I have tried it, did use it, and honestly, I will only set that trimmer to be a hitter because of the blade allows you to just be a beast, like just for real, for real. So for me, the FX3, for some people, they don't like the ergonomics. Some people like it a lot. Some people think it's a great trimmer just all around to have, and it does some good work. But for me, I will only set up the FX3 as a hitter only, because once you do that, that thing does hit and it does not miss, honestly. So it got to the point that where they had to scale that blade back, and you can't get more of a hitter than that, honestly. But it made it to my number 4 spot due to, you know, like I said, some of the things that I can really care less for. The price is up there for the time. You would think that it would probably be under 150. It's still like 170, but it's still 170. The red ones you can find a lot cheaper, and those are the ones that I really do like, but it's either or to me. They're just both, I would say, hitters. All right, so this is where it might shock some people, but I do have it at the number 3 spot. It is the Stylecraft Metal Instincts. And the main reason why I have it at that is because most of us probably don't want to pay that price, that $299. So the price, it really affects it. And also, so the some of the performance. And when I talk about performance, I'm talking about like the noise level. Some people don't care for that. The blade is the one blade. A lot of people are going to like really rock with the one blade. But with that much power, it definitely is a hitter. Why not use that? And also ergonomics, I like how it feels. I like the, you know, the metal body, you know, the weight of it. Some people don't like the feel of it. They you know, they choose other Stylecraft trimmers over it, but it is a beast. I mean, 9,000 RPMs to 11,500. It can be an all-around trimmer for the performance, the blade, and everything that it can do. And, you know, setting it as a hitter, I think it's best as a hitter. And it being at that price, for me, it does not get the #1 spot, but it still is easily in my top 3. Can't even go wrong with that. But the Metal Instinct trimmer is definitely a hitter without a shadow of a doubt. It has also that vibration, that noise, due to the fact that it's the vector motor. But that's the main reason why I don't like to have vector motors throughout my whole service, throughout the whole haircut, like balding out, doing so much stuff with the trimmer. I just rather just use it as, you know, my front lineup and my C cups, and that's it. You get what I'm saying? So some people might not see the value in that. For me to just use it as that and, you know, still paying $300. So I understand all that, but for me, you could do some great work with it. It can do a lot more, but I'm using mine as a hitter. So that is #3 on my list. #2, like I said, I think both of my #2 spots don't get talked about much. They don't get that much recognition. I have spoken on it before. I haven't done much, and maybe I should do some more on it so y'all could really understand what I'm talking about, because when I say these things are hitter, and I'll put more content up about, you know, with them. Now we're getting into straight out of the box ultimate hitters. Like, they just do that and they do that, and they know they do it well. And second place is the 4-mass trimmer. 4-mass trimmer, the price is crazy. It's under $100. It has the USB-C option. It has a great runtime. The power is there. The ergonomics, it has a whole rubber grip body. Like, it's, how could you not see this trimmer as a hitter? Honestly, it's one of the best balding trimmers I have ever used, but it is a hitter. I don't use it for nothing else but balding out in that front line, just hitters. That, you know, now they do have other benefits, of course, but I feel like where it performs the best is doing those two things. So definitely #2 on my list, especially with the price, performance, ergonomics, all of that jazz. It lines up very, very well. All right, y'all. #1. Y'all know what it is. If there's not one trimmer that I have not talked about for a very long time, I feel like a lot of people slept on it, even when I did my concise review about it, but clearly, still till this day, it holds the #1 spot. So shout out to Wahl. The Hi Viz is the #1 hitter of the year. Hands down. I'm sorry, everybody looked at that thing like it was weird, but the ergonomics is on point. The price, I can't say that it's on point, but I'm not mad at the price. I'm not mad at the price. I do see the value there. It's all premium, all metal housing. I like that. The performance, it knocks it out the park when it comes to hitters. That thing is the hitting machine. Like, that's all it knows. Like, the 4-mass is great at balding out and hitting. The Hi Viz, respectfully to me, is just great for hitting. And here's the thing with the Hi Viz. The Hi Viz, I can use, like when I'm doing my lineups, I could use it like in the back of the neck, under the beard. I could use it everywhere. Can't say that about the 4-mass in a sense, because I feel like it might be too sensitive in the back of the neck, but the Hi Viz, I can use it for every part of the hair that needs to be lined up. I can use it. And to me, respectfully, this thing deserves the #1 spot. And it's crazy because I do believe they have a black version coming out, and I can't wait to see what that can do. But the Hi Viz, best hitter of the year, hands down. It got the Concise Award, and I had to do it that way because I want people to understand that there is a difference between your all-around trimmer and your hitter. So that's how I set that up this year. Wahl, congratulations, you won the #1 spot. 4-mass, you got #2, and Stylecraft, you got #3. So these are my hitters. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Which ones would y'all would have picked? You know, which ones do you agree with, you don't agree with? What other brand that you would have put in there? I know some people have been saying something about Coco, but the only reason why I didn't put them in there is because of the machine, the complications with the machines they be having. I didn't want to like go down that whole rabbit hole. But for me, this is my whole top 5, and I believe I have a nice lineup. And shout out to both of the #2 spots, man. They're both like brands that most people don't talk about, but you know, I definitely want to shed some light on them and also offer you guys something that is at a great price. So shout out to everybody that has gotten the award, man. I appreciate everybody for continuing to watch my stuff, man. Wait until you guys see more. I do have more coming. And also, Happy New Year to y'all, man. I know we've gotten to the new year and I'm still doing it for 2024, but it'll be done in January. But I'm going to let you guys know more Concise Awards in 2024. Y'all be blessed and y'all take it easy.
CTB, you know who it is.